Hello everyone, welcome back to our subject Computer Organization and Architecture. So today in the continuation of the previous topic we are going to see microprogram control unit design. So in the previous topic we have seen about the basic terminologies involved in microprogram control unit design. Then we have seen the alternate arrangement. Instead of using the hardware circuitry, we have depended on micro instructions, and we have seen an example for micro instruction for branching. Then we have seen about a partial format of the micro instructions followed by uh, a flowchart that describes the complete execution of instruction add source comma r. So the microprogram we have seen. So from this point we are going to continue the remaining part of microprogram control unit design. Okay, so we will be frequently using based on this flowchart we will be continuing our topic. Okay, so here this flowchart we have discussed already, and in the flowchart we have seen about here there is a branching instruction. So at the address octal number it is represented 003. At this address we have the branching instructions. So branching in the sense based on the instruction register content, the operand could be fetched, the first operand could be fetched either one of these addressing modes. Either it might be index addressing mode, auto decrement, auto increment, then the register direct and register indirect. So here to identify one of the address, either it should execute this micro instruction 161 or 141 or 121 or this 1111 or 101. So here at this point we need to identify which addressing mode has to be implemented based on the instruction register. So that to pick up the one of the address, there comes the concept of bit ORing. So bit ORing technique is used to select one of the addressing modes based on the instruction register what it specifies. Okay, and that's the concept behind this wide branch addressing. Okay, so wide branch addressing means we have 5 addressing modes represented in that flow chart, is it not? The source operand could be fixed either one of that, and bit ORing technique is used. So the content of the instruction register would look like this. Okay, it has the opcode. Opcode means operation code, what type of operation has to be carried out by the instruction register, either like a branching or addition or subtraction, multiplication, division, or simply moving or storing, fetching. So whatever it may be, that is identified by this operation code, followed by the bit numbers 8, 9, 10. Okay, 8, 9, 10 in the instruction register it is used to represent the addressing mode. Okay, so in this flowchart we have seen 5 different addressing modes are used, and this 3 bit is enough to select what at a time the instruction will use either one of this addressing mode, is it not? So using that 3 bit in the instruction register, it could be identified which addressing mode the current instruction is used. Okay, the bits in the instruction register 10 and 9 is used to denote the one of the addressing modes. So if the bits are in this combinations, 1 means indexed, 10 means auto decrement, 01 means auto increment, 00 at the bit position 10 and 9 indicates the register, and the bit number in the instruction register this 8 it is used to identify the indirect version. Okay, so indirect version in the sense, so we won't get the operand value directly from the register. Instead that register contains the address, and that address needs to be fetched from the memory and it will give the data. That data has to be used as an operand for the current instruction. So here, so this bit number 8 indicates whether the address we are fetching is direct or indirect version. Okay, so 0 indicates the direct version and 1 indicates the indirect version. Okay, suppose for example, if we have the combination of the bit 10, 9 and 8 is of 111. Okay, so if it is of 111, so with this 2-bit identification, we could, this is bit number 10 and 9, so with this we could identify this is indexed mode, and with the presence of this 1 in the bit 8 indicates it's an indirect index addressing mode. Similarly, if we have the combination of this bit combinations of 10, 9 and 8 is of like this. Okay, so what does it mean? I think you could answer it now. This is auto decrement. Okay, direct version, directly increment the register content, that's the meaning. Suppose if we have the value like this, means this is auto decrement indirect mode. So indirect in this sense, we need to why you are saying indirect? Because its bit position 8 is of value 1 instead of 0. It means, so how to fetch the value from the memory and that content is decremented. So that's the meaning here for the combinations 1 0 1. Okay, and here the bit numbers from 4 to 7 is used to indicate how many bits are there from 4 to 7. 4 5 6 7, 4 bits. Okay, so 4 bits are allocated to identify the source register, and the bit number from 0 to 3, just again it's a 4 bit, it is used to identify the destination register of the operand. Okay, the instruction will have the source operand and the destination operand, is it not? So if it is supposed to be of an register, means, so generally here the 16 registers are utilized, and we need to pick one of the register, and that register could be identified by means of this 4-bit combinations. Okay, and here, so micro instructions with next address field. Okay, this is completely new. The thing which we have discussed so far involves the branching, is it not? So here 2 branchings are involved. Here we need to pick up one of the addressing mode. For that, bit ORing technique is used to identify the address, and again at this position alpha. So here what does it mean? So one of these combinations, auto increment, auto decrement and indexing. So here this alpha, it indicates we need to again go for memory read, is it not? So what it says, all the 3 modes are of indirect. So if it is of indirect, means location 1, address location 170 has to be executed, followed by 171. Then suppose if all the 3 falls into direct addressing mode, means we need to bypass this 170 and have to execute this 171. So there also bit ORing technique is used to fetch the correct address. Okay, so branching is involved. So these are these are the micro instructions to execute a single instruction, is it not? Address add source comma r. Okay, so if it falls into one of the different one of the 5 different addressing modes, so branching is involved. And here, so instead of doing this operation, most of the time we spend in the we spend in identifying the correct path. Okay, so most of the time is utilized for spending the data path, and no useful operation is performed, is it not? So the alternate approach is to have the to overcome this disadvantage of spending more time in identifying the path rather than executing the instruction. There comes the alternate solution. Okay, so the alternate approach is each and every instruction will have an address field, next address field itself. Okay, so in the previous micro instructions, so far we have discussed the instruction register cares about the current instruction only, is it not? Then the micro program counter will take care of fetching the next micro instruction. Instead, the disadvantage we have seen in the flowchart, that no useful operation is performed. Instead, it keeps on checking, it keeps on identifying the right branch, is it not? So the alternate approach is to have the instruction register along with the instruction register will have the address of the next instruction to be fetched. Okay, and the advantage of that is the branching is virtually eliminated, and with the limitations of assigning the address field for each and every micro instruction. Okay, the disadvantage is since each and every micro instruction is now carrying the address field, so additional bits are required for each and every micro instruction to specify the next address field. And here, 1/6 of the control store is mainly used for addressing purpose. Okay, so because of this concept, micro instruction with the next address field, the control store is mainly spend 1/6 of its memory capacity for addressing alone. Okay, so that is quite okay when we have when the thing goes like caring about executing the operation rather than identifying the correct path. Most of the time has been spent for identifying the correct path. Instead, it's bearable. The penalty is okay. The penalty in the sense I'm talking about 1/6 of the control store is spent for representing the address fields. Okay, and here is the alternate micro instruction sequencing organizations when compared to the previous organization. The thing gets replaced here is this part. Okay, so previously the micro instruction organization we have seen, here it is of micro program counter. So what micro program counter will do, it will automatically fetch the next micro instruction from the control unit, control store. Okay, instead since here the instruction register here, the micro instruction register here, it is replaced with, along with the micro instruction, it holds the address of the next instruction, is it not? So there is no need of having the micro program counter. Instead, that is replaced by micro address register. So this address register will hold the address of the next micro instruction, that may depend from either the output of this instruction. Okay, output of this current instruction. The current instruction gives the address of the next instruction, so it is given to the OR gate, or at the very first time the address could be the starting address is generated by this decoding circuit. Okay, so here, so these are all about generating the control signals. Okay, it is not for calculating, it is not doing any ALU operations. Okay, so here we are seeing about the control unit design. Okay, so initially the instruction is stored in the instruction register, and the decoding circuit, why it is used along with the current instruction. While executing the current instruction, there may be some interrupts, there may be external inputs in real time coming to our computer system, that needs to be handled, is it not? So we need to consider about the external inputs and the some condition codes like flag, some software interrupts, everything has to be considered. So we need to, the decoding circuit will pick up which one to perform, and in the decoding circuit at the very first time will give the address of the micro instruction. Okay, at very first time this address is picked by the micro address register, and the same address is used to get the control word from this control store. Along with that control word, here we are saying as a micro instruction register instead of the control word, because in this control word will be, along with this control signals, it will have the address of the next instruction. Okay, so micro instruction decoder, it will generate the control signals for the respective instruction present in this micro instruction register, and of course some of its output is given as an input to the decoding circuit. Okay, so what that output means, maybe like some bit ordering operations, or like whether the output is given, whether it generates some output, whether the current instruction gives an input to the next micro instruction, is it not? Sometimes it may depend, the current the next instruction may depend on the output of the previous instructions. In that case, it needs to give it needs to give this output to the decoding circuit, where it will, based on that, the next instruction address might be generated. Okay, so the circuit diagram is quite simple. Okay, so in detailed manner we will see it in the next slide. Before that, we will have a look on the format of micro instruction, which is a bit changed when compared to the previous format we have seen. I'll take you there. See here, so this is the partial format of micro instructions we have covered already. So now the thing gets changed, because the micro instruction now having the address of the next instruction also, so its format is quite changed. Most of the concept is same. Apart from this, there is a little change in this micro instructions. Why there is a change in the micro instruction? Yes, because now along with the micro instruction, we are storing the address of the next field. Okay, so see here, this combination, the F0 group, okay, it holds the 8-bit combination of micro instruction, followed by remaining, I think most of the things are same. Instead, the previous format we have seen, for each and every register the address field is allocated. See here, I'll take you again to have a deep knowledge on that. R1, R2, R3, R4, so likewise. Okay, so each and every control signal for registers, this is for out, so out control signal, and this is for in control signal. Okay, for input, and this is for output. So for each and every register, separate code is generated, whereas here with the micro instruction having the next address field, see here, so only only one set of combination is used, because see here, for source out, this is to indicate the source out, this combination 100, and this is for register destination output signal. And similarly for input signal, register source and register destination, so only one combination is used. Okay, and remaining, I think most of the things are same, and except a few extensions are there, F8 group, F9 and F10. so what it says, F8, so F8 has one bit which indicates 0 indicates the next address, and 1 indicates the instruction decoder. What does it mean? 0. So see here, if the it is giving the current instruction along with the control signal, it gives an output of 1 bit to the instruction decoder decoding circuit, where it says when its bit is of 1, F8 combination bit is of 1 means it is giving an output, the current instruction is giving an output to the next instruction. So here the combination, the bit value 0 indicates the current instruction is not giving any output to the next instruction. Simply it utilizes the address field of this instruction for the next instruction. Okay, so it means the next instruction is not depending on any of this output. And if so, if it is giving an output, means what type of output? Either it is for bit ordering or for instruction source or. Okay, so here separate 2 bits are used for bit ordering, one for using which addressing mode in that register we have seen, no? So that type of if it is of 1, suppose if the next instruction depends on any one of the addressing mode, this bit is selected, and this is for to indicate whether it is a direct mode or indirect mode. Okay, so the instruction format is bit changed when compared to the previous instruction format we have seen, because here we are using along with the current instruction, it has the address of the next instruction to be executed. Okay, a bit change over the previous version. Okay, and here is the detailed control signal generating circuit. Okay, so the please keep in mind this one, this detailed explanation is given in this next slide. Okay, so here what's happening, the instruction, the first one is the instruction, then followed by the decoding circuit. The decoding circuit takes the external inputs, condition code, and of course these three are nothing but the output of the next output of the previous instruction is given as an input to the current instruction. Here instruction register has the instruction, followed by it specifies the source address, source register, and the destination register. As I told you, each and every register is identified by 4-bit combination, so totally 16 registers are there. So this, using this decoder circuit, we could enable one of these 16 combinations. Okay, 16 combinations of the registers will be identified. Okay, and initially the address is given by the instruction the instruction register, and that is given as an input to the micro address register. Okay, so and the micro address register has the it will identify the micro instruction from this control store, and this micro instruction is used to generate the control signals. Okay, it is used to generate the respective control signals to execute this instruction. Okay, and along with that, what that control store output is having, it is having the next address field that is given as an input to the micro address register now. Okay, so that's what OR gate is used to select either this address or this one. So suppose there may be some interrupts may happen, so at that time, so via this F8, F9 and F10, so this time the address might vary. So now it will select the address of this decoding circuit, what the decoding circuit is giving, that will be selected. Okay, instead of this next address field. And F1 and F2, it represents about F1 and F2. Here this combination, register combinations are used to select the one of the 16 registers. For example, source register output is 100. Okay, so I am saying it in binary number, but it's a decimal number. 100, it's not 100, it's binary number, 1 octal. So these are represented in 3-bit, no? So 3-bit means binary. Okay, so 100 source register, and destination register is 101. Source register, where is it? Source register is 100, so that's what in the AND gate 100. This is OR. Okay, this circle says about OR, I mean 0, value 0, and it is inverter, so this will be enabled, this source register will be enabled, and source destination is 101, so 10 is identified here, 101. Okay, so it will pick up one of the source register and the destination register from these combinations. Okay, the circuitry diagram is quite simple and it is in detail. Okay, and following about that circuitry diagram, there is a concept behind prefetching micro instructions. So what it says means the micro program control unit we have seen is it take a little time. Okay, the operating time is more. It means micro program control design so far we have seen is slow in operating speed. Why? because it needs some time to fetch the instructions from the control store, is it not? So it is little slower, and this slow operating mode could be bit changed by prefetching the next instruction at a time. Okay, so faster operation is achieved if the next micro instruction is prefetched in the sense while executing the current instruction itself we are getting the next instruction address, because now we don't want to depend on the current instruction, because each and every instruction will have its own address field, is it not? So by overlapping we could increase the speed of operating the microprogram control unit. But again in prefetching we have one disadvantage. So disadvantage in the sense, so sometimes if the output of the current instruction depends on suppose the output if the current instruction gives an output to the next instruction and the next instruction depend on those things, means prefetching will give the wrong instruction. So that could be avoided by having the complex hardware circuitry diagram, and of course that is of minor error when compared to when comparing it in an overall operations. Okay, that is bit a minor change in the sense the next instruction is not always depending on the current instruction. So that is okay, that little error is okay, because that could be avoided by having the complex hardware design. Okay, so the main concept behind prefetching is used to increase the speed of fetching the micro instructions. Okay, and finally about emulation. So the literal meaning of emulation is something like imitating. So here imitating one computer set to the other computer set. So the main advantage what we have seen in microprogram control unit design is it's quite flexible and inexpensive, in the sense we could make modifications, we could add additional machine instructions and implement with some extra micro routines. That's the main advantage of microprogrammed control unit when compared to hardwired. So when we want to copy instruction set from one computer to the other computer, means it's quite easy. So that's the thing emulation it says. The emulation in the sense the transition to a new computer system with minimal disruptions is possible, because possible in microprogrammed control unit design. Okay, and suppose if the emulation happens between the machines which are of similar instruction set architecture, means the emulation is of course quite easier. Okay, so that's it about microprogrammed control unit design. So hope you got an in detail knowledge about designing the control unit either by means of hardwired and microprogrammed. Okay, so that's it about today's topic, and I'll meet you in the next topic. Till then, thank you all.